The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Backpacks for kids on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the Kernersville Alden Museum. We'll tell you more about the museum later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up, and we'll get into all sorts of controversies with those guys, so stay tuned. Between now and then, some great guests and very important information coming your way, including a discussion about backpacks for kids and a lot more. Where we want to start is with two other kids, because everybody's a kid to me. On my immediate right, our good friend, Dr. Janet Spriggs, president of Forsyth Tech. It's been a while since she's been here. Atticus Simpson, of course, our good buddy from True Light. He's executive director of the True Light Foundation. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great
how long has it been? It's a couple of years since we've seen you.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah. What are you doing these days? No, I'm just kidding. Now, Atticus, I understand. Now, look, seriously, I know this has been a busy year for the foundation, creating impact on the communities in your footprint. Sure. Bring me up to speed real quick.
Yeah, it's been a really busy but great half a year. We're kind of leaning into the workforce education, workforce training piece, and what we can do to support organizations that are doing that. But we also have our own things. We just put 20 kids to college with scholarships, first-time college goers, so we're excited about that. And then our mini grant program, we just launched that, and then we awarded about 30 nonprofit organizations for some things that they needed, particularly professional development. So while we're helping kids get ready for school, we're also helping these nonprofit leaders train even their board or even themselves in skills they need.
All right, why students, and why is the lovely Janet Spriggs with us?
Because she's so lovely.
Yes.
Why would you not want to have her here?
That's true.
Well, one of the things that we're looking to do too is sort of lean into our relationships with community colleges. Those students are very similar to the members at True Light, and they also have very similar needs. And so we're going to look to do maybe some workforce development type of scholarships, but we're also very aware that they have needs outside of the classroom, whether they have food insecurity challenges, they have childcare challenges, sometimes transportation. And we've been really honored to be able to help Forsyth Tech with their Forsyth Tech Cares program to help address some of that.
Yeah, what is that, Janet? What's Forsyth Tech Cares?
Forsyth Tech Cares is all about how do we help students mitigate life happens barriers that may not have anything to do with their ability to maintain their academic matriculation. Things like Atticus mentioned, daycare support, transportation challenges, food insecurity, finding them home, safe housing. And it's really items that we're able to provide through our foundation, through support from our donors, and also through a network of community support that we have by just connecting them to the resources.
Let me put you on the spot for a success story. You don't have to mention any names or anything, but does anything come to mind, maybe an example of how this is working?
Yeah, absolutely. So this wonderful young lady who was about to graduate, she had one semester left. She was an adult learner in her mid-30s. One semester from graduation, her car broke down for the final time. She could not make it work again. $450 away from literally thinking she was going to have to drop out of school and not finish, sitting on the sidewalk crying. Our foundation director was able to connect with her, help her with the repair. She stayed in school. That was a few years ago. She is now graduated with her master's and in a doctoral program at Wake Forest.
Wow.
That is an amazing story.
We ought to get her on the show sometime.
Exactly. I would love to connect you with her.
Bring her on here with you or something.
Yeah.
How important, very quickly, how important is the kind of partnership you have with Atticus and Todd and True Light to sustaining your mission of what you're doing?
It's incredibly important. In fact, we could not do the work without True Light, without the foundation, without supporters like that. These are things that our public dollars cannot pay for. Financial aid does not cover. So we have to have the community to help us with that, either through a network of resources or through foundations and donors that understand the work.
And Atticus, final thoughts, since Janet mentioned community, how can everybody get involved?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways they can get involved. Preferably, we'd love for people to give to the foundation, the True Light Foundation. It's easy to do. You can go to truelight.org/foundation and make contributions there. One of the things that we like to say is we make it easy to feel good about giving back because the organizations that we work with are organizations that we vet and do really great work, and so people should feel confident that when they give to the Triad Foundation, it's going to go right back to where it needs to go.
Absolutely. Up on screen, check out forsythtech.edu. Has lots of great information. You can navigate the various portals to find out what you need to know, and also a shout out to the good folks at Truliant. Go to that website, truliantfcu.org/foundation. To Atticus and to Janet Spriggs, thanks for all you guys and gals are doing behind the scenes to help so many people. Thanks for everything.
Absolutely.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
I am so
Why can no one help you?
Waiting is the worst. I think it's healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
Banking is like going for a swim. You don't need all the complicated stuff, but you don't want to feel exposed either. At Truliant, we give you just what you need, so you can manage your money on the go or stop by a branch whenever you need to. It's all about having options, while also keeping life simple, with low rates, free financial advice, and friendly faces. So check out Truliant. We have just what you need.
Back now on Triad Today. Always glad when we can spend a few minutes with the good folks from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. We do that now with our good friend, first-time visitor to the show, David Shaw, Manager of Strategic Partnerships for Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you for having us.
Good to see you.
Excited to be here.
And now look, I know that just from doing these segments before Blue Cross, that you guys are doing a lot to make our communities healthier. But you and Maya sent me an email that says you're also doing this through volunteerism, and I'm not quite understanding the angle. Connect that for me.
Sure. So, at Blue Cross, with us being, the state's only not-for-profit health insurer, we feel like it's sort of our responsibility to bring all our resources to bear. And so whether that's our, philanthropy in a traditional sense, our capital, our network, our influence, we try and, pull all the strategic levers that we can. One of those is our people. And so we think that by, either lending a hand or lending our skills and expertise through volunteerism, that we're actually able to contribute to those critical nonprofit organizations that are improving the overall health and well-being of our communities.
Yeah, expand on that a little bit. How, for some of the community nonprofit agencies, how can they really benefit in specific ways to having volunteers help out?
Sure. So there's, a few different ways. As we think about volunteerism at, Blue Cross NC, we think about it in two primary ways. One could be more of your traditional kind of hands-on service project, packing or sorting food, or packing kits for the troops, maybe something like that.
Right.
But there's also a skills-based angle, and so our folks. One thing we do have is we have passionate people who are committed to our purpose. And those people can often lend, their expertise for an organizational challenge that a nonprofit might be facing.
Maybe I'm jumping to a conclusion here, but also I think you said something in the email about that has an impact on affordability of healthcare too. How does that connect?
Yeah, well, when you think about it, a lot of the nonprofit organizations across the state, they're like our safety net organizations, and they're on the front lines in communities providing direct services, direct care, providing safe places to play for kids to grow and develop and connect. And we don't view it as a gift. We view it as an investment back into our state and into our communities. Helps us deliver on our purpose while helping organizations fulfill and connect to their missions as well.
Let me talk about your background a little bit. We didn't rehearse this, so I'm going to embarrass you, but you volunteer and you do things. I mean, why is all this important to you on a personal level? I know that from a corporate level you have a job to do, but what does all this mean?
So I actually come from a background of spending some time at a nonprofit organization. There were two things that I think still kind of carry with me personally. One is how powerful and incredible nonprofit organizations can be given the right resources. And the other is that, really the power of partnership. There's very few things I can think of personally in my career I've ever done that's solely because of me or without a great partner. And at Blue Cross, we're privileged to have the opportunity to partner with so many of these nonprofits across the state.
Was this kind of attitude instilled in you by family members, mom and dad, an uncle, a teacher, a professor? I mean, where does all this come from? Because I see this enthusiasm coming out of you.
Yes. How about that?
Yes,
All of the
yes
above.
to all of that?
All of the above. All of the above. It's all one big collection. And, I think our company's commitment to communities across the state also provides and adds to that enthusiasm.
I just think that's great. And there's so many ways that people can volunteer, like you said. I mean, it could be helping with a food bank or Habitat for Humanity or whatever. I just think that's great. Look, I want to put up something on screen here, and that's bluecrossnc.com. Bluecrossnc.com is a great website to go to for a whole lot of reasons, and there's portals you can navigate to find out more information about what Blue Cross is doing to help so many people. And these are things a lot of times people don't know about because guys like you are working behind the scenes to do it. But what a fantastic job. Thanks for everything you're doing.
Thank you, Jim.
All right,
Appreciate
David.
it.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire.
Now boarding zone 3.
Back now on Triad Today, time to check in with our good buddy Kevin Baker, who's Executive Director of the Piedmont Triad International Airport. Always glad we can steal him away from the airport for just a few minutes because he's a busy guy, but thanks for stopping by.
Good to see you, Jim.
I've been hearing about this. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I keep hearing about this International Air Show, which took place in July. Very quickly, what was that? When was it held? What's the deal?
Yeah, there are a couple of large international air shows that happen, the biggest being Paris, and then the second one being Farnborough, which is London, basically, about 30 miles west of London, and they alternate years. And at these things, there's, 175 to 225,000 people that come to these things. Monstrous shows, and all of the OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers, show up at these things and talk about the new products that they might be launching, or talking about big sales that they may have made.
Right.
Boeing sells airplanes to name the airline.
So this is an important deal.
It is. It's very much a look what we're doing kind of show, but it's also you have suppliers all the way down to the lug nuts that are on the wheels of those airplanes, all the way through the wings and engines, et cetera.
Well, let me embarrass you over something, because the scuttlebutt that I'm hearing is, yes, there are these shows that are international, there are shows across the country, and yet the folks in Europe and other places seem, when the topic of PTI comes up, they sort of act a little bit envious of PTI and of this area in North Carolina. Why is that?
Well, I think, when you look at the news that we've had in the last decade even, I mean, you talk about Honda, you talk about Cessna, you talk about, especially more recently, Boom, and then Jet Zero, and other wins that we've had. Airports and regions around the world are saying, what are they doing there? How are they winning all these things? There's a jealousy out there. It's kind of cool. It used to be that we had to go to these shows. We would go to them with the intent of letting people know what we had going on here,
right,
to try and lure them to come here. Now you go there and they know who you are right away. I mean, in the last two especially, this area has been the talk of the show, mainly because of Jet Zero's announcements.
Right.
Also with Boom a few years back.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Well, now, I know this is a crystal ball thing, but going forward, because I think folks in the Triad want to know this, is there going to come a time where we're going to have an international air show at PTI?
Yeah, I don't see an air show happening. It's really difficult to put on an air show. I mean, there's a lot of airspace use and stuff like that makes it really difficult around a commercial service airport, even one that's a mid-sized airport like this.
Oh, so in Farnborough and places like that, they're not doing commercial air?
No,
okay.
These are airports that are, secondary airports.
Okay.
And so I don't see that happen.
Let me throw a quote back at you before we wrap up here, and I want to make sure I get it right. You talked about how that the PTI campus and surrounding areas where our children and our children's children will work in the aerospace industry. What, if anything, are you doing now and your partners around the region and colleges and whatever to nurture kids so that the children and the children's children are working in this industry here?
Yeah, there are lots and lots of people and organizations that are working on workforce development and early education. You've got programs, for instance, Andrews in High Point has a program for kids in high school, and I think you're going to see these groups who are now focusing very squarely. The Jet Zero thing really has created another step that we need to take. And all of those organizations are working together to make sure that we've got a pipeline of people that last for the next 100 years, because that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, and Guilford Tech, Forsyth Tech, a lot of the community college seem to be jumping in there and partnering with folks like you in the aerospace industry, right?
Yeah, there's no question, and I give a lot of credit to Tony Clark at GTCC for what he has done. He has managed to wrangle together all of the local community colleges, and they are working together for the first time that I've seen, all working very much together to help do this. And then you have the secondary college or the four-year colleges. I mean, like A&T and even NC State, but UNCG, et cetera, are all playing part of this
Jumping
as well.
in there to help with the workforce now and in the future. Up on screen, flyfrompti.com. Of course, you can check out flight schedules, but there's lots you can look at on that website, and we hope you will do that. Kevin Baker, thanks for everything, sir.
Thank you, Jim. Good to see you.
Be right back.
I got free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for it, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Oh, back now on Triad Today, I'm holding up a backpack. Now, I normally don't hold these up because I'm not a student, but we're going to talk about some fortunate students and some great guests who are helping students, and let's talk about it right now. On my immediate right, Griff Schuler, of course, attorney with Daggett Schuler. On the far right, David Daggett, his partner. And in the middle, there's special guest who's been with us before, Chief William Penn. Chief of Police for Winston-Salem, good to see you guys.
Hey, Jim. Good to be here.
David, let me start with you. Remind us what the annual backpack program is all about and why it's important to Daggett Schuler.
Yeah, there's all sorts of back-to-school initiatives in our community with different organizations. The police department is involved in several different initiatives on their own. Also, we're in our 12th year working with the Winston-Salem Police Department. Our back-to-school backpack program, there's 12 different backpacks. All these backpacks are fully stuffed with everything on the back-to-school list for the youngster, and they're not logoed or marked, so the youngster getting these backpacks, there's no stigma attached.
There's no stigma to that, yeah. Well, Griff, why is it so important? I know it's going to sound like a stupid question, but David alluded to the fact that it's jam-packed with supplies. Why are the correct supplies and amount of supplies necessary for the students now and in the future?
Well, starting out the school year is so important for these students, and it's so important for them to get launched. And being able to have a backpack equalizes the playing field for them.
Right.
From the very beginning of the school year, and studies show that if they get on the right path at the start of the school year, that paves the way to their entire future.
Chief, how can a program like this help and enhance the relationship between police, students, parents, the community?
Community engagement is extremely important at the police department. Being able to hand out these backpacks at the beginning of the school year while students are excited is a way we interact with our community in those non-enforcement situations so that the youth understand the police are their friends.
And it means something to your officers too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They get something out of the eyes lighting up and knowing that they're playing a key role in crime prevention at the earliest levels.
Yeah, Griff, I mean, the feedback I know you and David have gotten over the years has got to be tremendous, 12 years.
Yes, and one of the most exciting things I think is when we go to each individual school, because after we pack the backpacks and we arrive, we deliver the backpacks to each individual school. The response from the principals at each school is amazing. They talk about the impact that it makes on the students and how in past years they've seen the positive impact. The feedback we've gotten from the administrators and principals has been overwhelming.
David, we're, just as a disclaimer, we're taping this particular segment on August 12th. Now, have these already been given out? Are they going to be given out?
Yeah, they've already been given out. We got them there right before the start of the school year so that they can make the biggest impact.
Now, and how were people chosen? How were students chosen to get these?
Yeah, we work with the school counselors in each school so the school counselors can identify the students in need so that we can have the biggest impact on the underserved students and lift them up and build them up.
Chief, not to get too heavy on this, and we don't have that much time left, but you know, the youth violence is always a problem in every city. People wringing their hands. I know you're working on curfews and other things. I got to believe that what you all three are doing in the departments and the partnership have got to be a good preventative measure maybe down the road.
Right. We believe when you give folks options, they'll steer away from crime. And we know that the best way to provide options is education.
Yeah.
Starting our youth off on the first day with everything they need to be successful is a key way to crime prevention.
And let them know some people care too. David,
Absolutely.
any final thoughts?
Well, I always, as a lawyer, like to bring an exhibit. My exhibit 1A is I met this young man when he was in high school.
Wow.
And I was visiting his high school. He turned out pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And if we can keep doing that, it's great for our community.
Of course, he also has a gun with him, so David, David had to say something. Up on screen, the City of Winston-Salem, cityofws.org is a general website for the city. You can also go to daggettsewerlaw.com if you need some assistance there, or you can call the guys and their fine team at 724-1234. To Chief Penn and to Griff and David, thanks for all what you're doing, all three of you, and it's really making a difference. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you so much.
Chief.
We'll be right back after this.
At Sutton Brothers, we're confident we can help you solve your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs.
So confident that we'll fix it or it's free. Our highly trained technicians will diagnose your problem and fix it with either a repair or replacement.
And if we can't fix it, you won't pay the trip fee.
So the next time you have a problem, call us.
We'll make sure you're completely satisfied.
Guaranteed.
Call Sutton Brothers today and be confident things will be done right. Schedule online at suttonbros.com.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. The Roundtable is brought to you by Sutton Brothers, locally owned and operated and serving all of your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the Roundtable with a quick shout out to the good folks here at the Kernersville Auto Museum. Come on out, it's free to look at all these classics and great history here Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And right now it's time for the Roundtable with three guys. I like to call this segment the Pet Boys and Me. And next to me is Pet Boy number one, Ogie Overman. David Daggett held over from an earlier segment, and our good buddy, the young Keith Granberry. All right, guys, on a serious topic, earlier this year, a Greensboro man was accidentally cremated after the family had requested an open casket funeral. Cremation was against the family's religion. They say they're traumatized. They're asking for a jury trial. They hope to get $25,000 in damages, but in a case like this, maybe not this one, would a jury be likely to award a higher amount? If so, what do you think they should get, Ogie?
That is inexcusable. That's just horrible. I would ask for a lot more. Mr. Daggett could answer this,
Mr.
but
Daggett.
way higher than that.
I would want to know a lot more about the facts, the family relationships, those sort of things. The $25,000 is a jurisdictional plea to get the case into Superior Court. So that's not all they're asking for. They're asking for at least $25,000. That gets it in Superior Court. This is a good case.
Keith.
Yeah. It's a great case. I mean, pain and suffering, all the things that they're going to go through. You can't even calculate the amount of money that they deserve for what they did.
All right, speaking of lawsuits, the Diaper Bag of North Carolina is suing the Weaver Fertilizer Company for $1 million to pay for 60,000 diapers that were damaged in that 2022 fire. The agency distributes diapers to over 25,000 babies each year. It's a good agency. Will the Diaper Bank get the $1 million that they're asking for, Ogie?
Well, I mean, 60,000 diapers wouldn't cost $1 million. Well, I don't think that. They deserve something, clearly, but maybe not $1 million.
David.
I haven't done the math on the diapers. Yes, they deserve to have their diapers replaced.
That's right.
No question.
Okay.
They deserve to have their diapers. This is full of, you know what? His case is full of.
All right, 28, these are difficult cases. A 28-year-old woman recently inherited her late father's home in Florida. The house is located in a gated community exclusively for people over 55. She's 28. Now, in an effort to force her out, because she's under 55, the HOA is demanding she pay $155,000 as a homeowner fee. You okay with this assessment, or is this age discrimination in reverse, Hoagie?
You know, I don't like HOAs and I don't like gated communities. She's really got a case. I hate
kind of
HOAs.
sad too. And
Yeah.
that's
No, I disagree with Ogie on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, on this one, it is an over 55 community. It was established that way. It's marketed that way. It's lived that way. Her option is to let it sit empty until she turns 55, or to sell it. Her choice.
Yeah, Keith.
I think I agree with Dave. You get.
Holy cow!
Unfortunately, it's 55. That's the rules. You don't want to start moving. Then other people start moving in. Then you have a community that they don't feel comfortable.
State lawmakers have passed legislation that will require local governments to allow the construction of at least one accessory dwelling in your backyard. Now, they're often referred to as mother-in-law dwellings. They have kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms. It's a house. And whether the county or city wants it or not, now the state says if somebody wants it and it's zoned for it, you got to let them put it up. You okay with cities and towns being forced to put these dwellings up?
Well, I side with the homeowners. If they want to build a mother-in-law suite in the backyard, they should be able to. I mean, we built one in it was a basement turned into an efficiency apartment, but you got that right.
David.
I partially agree with Ogie. I don't think the state should be proclamating what city and local governments do and what city and local zoning should be.
Right, Keith.
I think if it's your land, you should be able to build on it. If it's not something that's outside the realm of the community, why wouldn't you be able to build on it?
Right. In order to appease President Trump, the North Carolina Senate wants to formally change the name of Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. I thought this issue was dead. Very quickly, guys, do you care, and is it even necessary? Quickly, Ogie.
Do you need to ask me, Jim?
David.
As long as it takes for anything else to get done, I would assume that this is some sort of non-issue. What North Carolina has to do with it, I have no idea.
Hey.
I think that we can solve this quickly. Why don't we just say the Gulf? It is the Gulf. You don't have to put Mexico.
That's right.
You just say the Gulf.
All right, finally, an upscale restaurant in Hollywood, Florida now offers a monthly nude dining night where patrons eat their meal completely naked. Tickets are $250 for men, $150 for women. Does this price difference discriminate against men, and would you ever eat dinner naked, Ogie?
Well, there's several issues there. I hate to tell you this, Jim, but this has been going on a while. It's not a
we don't know
this ain't new.
Well, Jim hasn't been around.
Yeah, David, what do you think?
I forget the order of the questions, but I was going to say yes, no, yes, and maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Keith, you going to eat naked, Keith?
If I eat naked, you have to pay $1 million to see me eat naked.
They have to pay you.
They pay me $1 million.
Well, that's all that's another one of them diaper stories. That's all the time we have, except for this. Last week in the country of Wales, a man walked into his local library with 2 old books and that had been checked out by his great-grandfather 116 years ago. The librarian said, "Can you explain this?" The guy said, "Slow reader, I guess." For all of us here, Try Today. I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.